The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to start out the day like we usually do, looking at the German DAX. As you can see, we've had a nice little ABCD pattern here on the hourly chart. Going back here a few days, we're almost at the 61% retracement, which is down another 83 handles, down at 12,300. But the one that really looks interesting, folks, because we are very close to saying goodnight over here in the FTSE, which is the UK index. If you'll look at this one, after we completed a 50% retracement up there, we talked about this on Monday and Tuesday. You're basically getting ready to set up for an ABCD to the downside. And if this is correct, you're looking at 400 points down in the German DAX, and we're below the 78% level, so it really needs to hold this level right here. Otherwise, it looks like there might be some negative news on Brexit to push it down, but, who knows? But we'll have to just wait and see if that is going to be the case. Now, we have a long weekend coming up. I'm going to give everybody the day off except those of us that trade on Sunday and Monday in the European markets, but the U.S. markets will be closed for Labor Day, and that's always a fun time because that's the end of the summertime season, and all the little kiddies get to go back to school, which I'm sure they're happy to do. I used to run away from home on the 1st of September, hoping they'd never catch me, but they always drug me back to get back in school, so what are you going to do? Folks, we are very close to what I think is a very, very strong buy in the soybean market. Now, this is my opinion. I want to bring this up to your attention because remember, it has nothing to do with fundamentals. This is only about technicals. You'll notice back in July, we made that big ABCD pattern. We rallied $5,000, a dollar a bushel. We saw we had a beautiful Gartley coming in at 855. We went right up and made a Gartley at 904. And now we're making a 3-drive to a bottom pattern down here around this double bottom area, and the 1.618 expansion is down there at 819. So if you can get beans at 819, I think that's a good buy because you can be a farmer, only have to risk 10 cents, and take a look at that. Now, the wheat market has been very good to us. That market is on fire. We're up to 546 as a close here today, and had a beautiful, perfect Gartley down there at that 820 level, and it looks like we're getting ready to move higher. I heard some great news today, folks. Our good friend Shane Smullian from the Wolf Trader sent me some information and told us that just be careful being short in here because the Fed's still in control. So we want to pay pretty close attention to that. We'll cover the stock market in just a little bit, but there's a few markets here that some folks have asked me about that I really wanted to cover. One of them, of course, is what's going on over here in Turkey, over there in Ankara and in Istanbul. Been to Istanbul, but never been to Ankara. But let's take a look here at the Turkish. One second here. I got to make a little bit of a change. Okay, here's the Turkish Lira. As you can see, we made that 3-drive to a top pattern back there on the 10th of August, 10th and 12th of August, 10th, 11th, 12th. That's a 1, 2, 3 ABCD pattern. We made an ABCD pattern on the downside. You'll notice that we rallied up to a 61% retracement, and that's where we are. We're in this really tight trading range between 710 and all the way down to the 584 level. This is still a very, very bullish chart, which means that Lira is most probably going to continue to being under pressure. And there might be some news to change this, but right now that's what it looks like. There's a lot of politicians out in the world talking about the currencies, and whenever they do that, the traders understandably get a little bit nervous, and that causes some of these moves here that we're seeing here this morning. I was asked to talk a little bit about the chart that I posted early in the week, and this is from the Federal Reserve. I wanted to bring this up here to show you. Hold on one second, and we'll get it up here. This is what happened when Nixon got into trouble. You'll notice this was 1973, and that's when we had the Watergate and all that other stuff. And you see what happened to the stock market during that time. But that was a 3 drive to a top pattern that was finishing. You can see that over the period from July, actually from the spring of 73 into the fall of 73. That's what we were seeing. Now remember, this was 1973. The NASDAQ didn't start trading, I believe, until 71 or 72. So this was a relatively new market. But it's very similar to what was happening in the S&P. And of course, we had the Dow Jones, of course, but no Dow Jones futures. Those futures didn't start until August the 16th of 1982. So we'll keep an eye on that. I've had another question about the stock of the proverbial monster, and that is Microsoft. Let's get that up here for 1 second here. And we wanted, I know I put Microsoft in here. Where did I put Microsoft? Are you joking me? Maybe not. Well, shut the front door and raise her in. I've got it here somewhere, boys and girls. The question is, the old cowboy can't find it, so I'll have to get it during the break. But it's just been going ballistic, and the reason why I wanted to post the chart. Oh, here it is. I've got it. Sorry, bear with me here a second. Here comes Apple. Let's get this Apple chart up here. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because the Oracle of Wall Street was on TFNN, CNBC yesterday. It was his 88th birthday, and he was talking that he was continuing to buy Apple all the time. Folks, on Monday, I'm going to try, Tuesday, I'm going to try to pull out some of my old Warren Buffett things that he said, which were not quite what he was doing. One of my favorites was the silver market back in 1996, when he came on CNBC and said he owned 25% of all the above ground silver in the world. Now that's, nobody could believe that, but that's what he said. And the price of silver jumped $1 an ounce that day, to getting a high of 14. But when you went in to look at Berkshire Hathaway's holdings the following quarter, you'll notice they had 0 silver. And silver went from 14, dropped in half, all the way down to around $8 an ounce. So I'll try to find that. I know I've got it somewhere, but I'll have to get it put into a file so that I can post it here for you. So be careful with, when you hear these people, and be careful of everybody. That includes me. You have to decide what you're doing. That's why being a technician is good, because they can't lie to you. If they're going up, prices are going up. If they're buying, if they're going down, the prices are selling. What do you else you need? 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I posted the chart of the December wheat. As you can see here, Mr. Z in the room, John, was really kind enough to, wow, you guys are so smart. I can't believe this. In the Tiger Den just a few minutes ago, Ruby just posted something from the CMI Gold and Silver Review from back in 1998, where Warren Buffett buys 130 million ounces of silver. Folks, that's the article. I'm going to show you the chart next on Tuesday to show you what's happened to that. But if you got a chance, go in and post that, and you'll be able to read all about it. I mean, it's really amazing. But what it doesn't show is what happened to the price after that. That's what was really interesting. But thank you, Ruby. That's one of the real advantages, folks, of being in the Tiger Den and in that family, because gosh, they got some great information. And if you're wrong, boy, are they going to throw vegetables at you. So you better be careful of what you post in there, because it's really important. Now let's take a look. You can see the ABCD pattern in the wheat. John was talking about that quite a bit, and it had a higher bottom, and this is when we were making new lows, of course. But the other thing that was very important, if you remember, on the 26th of this month, we had a beautiful full moon. It's getting ready to see our harvest full moons coming in October, September and October. But this was a big one. We've had a pretty good run, but look what's happened to the wheat. We've already rallied, folks. We've rallied 27 cents, off of the bottom. And we closed right near the high so far today, whether it's going to go higher. But the ABCD structure on this, it takes it a minimum move to what we did the last time, which was from 550 all the way up to 585. So that's a 35-cent run, and that would take us up to 555 in the D-suite if it's going to follow the same scenario. So that's what we're keeping an eye on here. Gosh, Ruby, I am so impressed that you pulled that up. I was going to do that later. I even wrote myself a note, but thank you very much. That really helps tell a story about how some of these things work, because you know, when people tell you that's what they're doing, you know, always be a little bit leery, especially when they're touting their positions. It usually means that they're looking for someone on the other side of the aisle. And it's very unusual for Warren Buffett to be buying on strength like what he's saying he's doing here in Apple. And usually he likes to buy when there's blood in the streets, and he says all the time, buy them when they're crying and sell them when they're yelling. And that's really what you really want to be doing it. But, you know, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you look like you want to be a buyer. That's my opinion. Let's take a quick look here at the old stock market. We've been keeping an eye on this for a little bit. Get this up here. This is the E-mini S&P that we were looking at up around that 29.15 level. If you'll see the big ABCD pattern that we had here, and it was perfect. You had a 382 retracement there in mid-August, went up and made that high up into that area. Whether this is going to be a major high or not, I really don't know. Whether it is, but, you know, no one else does either. So we'll just have to, you know, wait and see if that's going to be the case. Now, another thing that's interesting in some of these markets is the fact that the holiday, usually the day before the holiday, folks, is a day where you have a situation where the market has a high probability of closing higher that day. Now, this is the last day of the month, which is also a positive day. So we should close higher today. Whether we do or not, you know, remains to be seen. So that's the main thing that you want to keep an eye on as you're doing, as you're looking at some of these things. So keep an eye on that, because it's very important. If it stops following those statistics, that's it. If you'll remember yesterday, we were talking about the Canadian dollar, because we missed that bottom by just a little bit. And I wanted to bring this up to show you that we missed the bottom by exactly 15 pips, and it's already rallied 100, almost, it's rallied 200 pips, 180 pips from the bottom already. We just hit 130.65, which is the 1.618 expansion on that move. Once, if you remember, we talked about the importance of the level of 130. Once the Canadian dollar cleared the 130 level, that was saying that it meant that it wanted to go higher. And you have to respect that, folks, because we came within a heartbeat of the exact number we were looking for. Let's just put this up here and you'll be able to see it. We came within a heartbeat of the exact number we wanted to see being hit, and it didn't get there. So just because the market doesn't always do what we want it to, we have to react to try to, you know, see what it's doing. And we went through some of that sequence of events yesterday, and we'll see whether that's going, you know, to continue on or not. We'll have to just, you know, do one thing at a time to see if that is going to come together. Let's talk a tiny bit about the gold market. The gold market is acting actually pretty nicely. If you remember, we were looking for it to get down to that level of 11, right around $1,200 an ounce. And we got down to 1202. We rallied up 13 bucks to 1215. I still believe we're going to be coming down into that $1,200 range without too much trouble, but you know, that'll probably happen sometime between Sunday and Monday would be my guess. And then we want to watch it very, very closely, because that's a beautiful pattern. It would be down $17 from the high, which would also be something very, very important. Now, here's one that we really need to focus on, folks. If you trade the oil market at all, let's take a little bit here. Get up here and take a look at this. You'll notice here that we're looking at crude oil to come in right near the $71 barrel. We're trading just a little bit below $70 right now. There's another one that might miss the 61% retracement by just a little bit, because, you know, we're not absolutely sure that it's going to get to that level, but we want to watch it. The reason why I'm watching the crude oil so quickly or so carefully is if we look at the sister part of this. If you look at the heating oil contract, you'll notice that the heating oil contract has completed a perfect ABCD pattern at the 224, and now we're trading a little bit below that. So far that is held. This is a very, very low risk short sale in, I believe, crude oil and also in the heating oil. So that's another one that looks, real interesting. Now, the gasoline continued to go higher yesterday. We had some resistance at that 260 level, and of course we went above that, and as soon as you go about a penny above that, you can't stand in front of it. So it's only the gasoline, which this should be the last day of the holiday driving season, but people have to get home, correct? So that means they're going to be driving on Sunday and Monday to get home, so we'll find out if that's going to be the case. Oh, we got a break coming up already. Holy cow, we'll have to just wait and move on to see what we got. Yes, folks, I've had several requests to try to get Bill Meridian on, and we will get Bill on hopefully next week. And also I've got Arch Crawford on the list, and also Kyle Cooper, the energy specialist down in Houston, is going to be our guest next week, and he's always got some great information. And as soon as Cy Monley slows down from all of his travels, we'll get Cy on, and hopefully at the same time Rich Anderson, which we try to do. Now, I want to cover hogs when we get back, because this is very interesting what we got going on in hogs. 877, very good, Ruben. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I want to talk just a little bit about this hog market, because when you talk about the stock market, you know, it's a tale of two markets, the one with the NASDAQ and then the rest of it. But we have the same thing going on in the hog market. As you notice here, this is the October hog chart. We had the three drive to a bottom pattern down there at the $47.50 per pound level. We had a really strong rally, 12 cents into that thing with the disease from China. And of course, now what we're doing is we're coming down, making a double bottom. The reason why it's important here, you notice that we hit a beautiful 78% retracement. We were able to rally 3 days, nickel a pound, which was quite a bit. But the important thing to remember, folks, is when you're trading hogs, and here, if you're going to trade things like this, it's really good to be in a place like the Tiger Den, where you got people like Mr. Z and some of these other guys that are really good with the fundamentals in this, because you're going to see a totally different picture. It's like a totally different chart when you look at the December hogs. You look at December hogs, and they're still in a very strong uptrend. They haven't even taken out the lows of last week yet. And we've had a really nice patterns there. So remember, when you're trading these, that they're different contracts, and that's important to really remember that, because just like July beans are different than November beans, October hogs are different than the December hogs, and especially during the times when they're talking about these particular diseases that are out there. Whether that is going to play an effect on this or not, we'll have to wait and see. Let's take a quick look to see how the markets are reacting. We just rang the bell here at the New York Stock Exchange. We were a little weak early this morning. I would imagine we're going to get a little bit of buying support coming in here because of the fact that we're right at the area of that last day of the month, and also the fact that we're looking at some other things that look pretty interesting as far as a holiday atmosphere also. So we'll keep a close eye on some of these things. We've got the November beans are cut down at the 832 level. If you can get those things down about another 13 or 14 cents, that's a beautiful pattern. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but boy, that's mother God and country. You'd have to really pay close attention to that one, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. We'll watch it. Now, if you're trading gold, we're looking right at the 61% retracement of yesterday's range right now at 1207. It really needs to hold 1207, because if we get below 1205, we're going to be within a heartbeat of that major pattern that we're looking at down there at around 1198, 1197. So, and we got this long weekend coming up. But remember, the rest of the world does not go along with Labor Day, so they'll be trading on Sunday and also on Monday. So we'll have a little bit of information when we come here on Tuesday, but that's only because we have these overnight markets now, which are not as easy as we'd like to see sometime. So this is what we're going to be watching here early this morning. I'll cover a couple more things. I want to do the euro here because I wanted to show you where we are in the euro. We're right around 116.20 right now, I believe, and we'll get this chart up so you can take a quick look at it. This is one that we were looking at yesterday, of course. We got down to that low level, and then last night we rallied up to a perfect 61% retracement from the high we made back on Thursday, and now we're setting up for the move to come down here. By the way, does anybody know what happened about 21 years ago today? Something very, very important happened in the world. Does anybody remember? Judge's ruling's out. This is the day that Princess Di passed away, folks. This was August the 31st, and when they had the auto accident. I remember that because that was a big day astrologically, and the market had a heck of a move that day, but I remember that day just because of that, because of the sadness behind it whenever we lose someone like we do. We lost some pretty serious people here this past week, so who knows. All right, let's move on here to someone's asked me a question about politics. Folks, I know little about these markets. What I know about politics, you can write on the head of a pinhead in boldface type. which means that's nothing. I mean, I really don't. First of all, I don't believe anything in those guys tell you. You can always tell when a politician is not telling the truth is because his lips are moving, but we'll have to save that for another day, okay? All right, here's the euro. I wanted to show the euro on a little bit longer time frame and why it's important, because we went right up to that 78% level. You'll notice we hit it spot on at 117.31. We're now completing this ABCD pattern down here near this 61% retracement. We've had a little bit larger move than we had back in mid-August, towards the end of August. So very, very important support here at the 116 level in the euro. It's just it's one of those things that makes it line up pretty good. It lines up really good with what Basil talked about in the U.S. dollar, the importance of that 94.50 level, and it held that spot on. We're trading about 30 pips above that now in the U.S. dollar. So that's another one that looks that it could have, a lot of interest in it. So pay attention to that. I think it's something that if we can hold these levels and go higher, then that means that U.S. dollar index is going to get below 94.50, and then we'll see what's going on. I know there's all kinds of pundits on the tube telling all the fundamental stuff, but try to follow the technicals. That'll lead you to the promised land, because if they're buying, it's going to be going up, and if they're selling, it's going to be going down. And whoever they is, I'm not even sure. So we'll have to pay close attention to that. Someone's asking us to talk about a little bit about the British pound, and if you give me 1 second, I can get that up for us. I was looking at that this morning, as a matter of fact, and with all the things that are going on in the news with Theresa May over in, I believe it's over in, hold on 1 second here, because we just completed a beautiful Gartley sell signal yesterday in this, up at this 130 level. Let's get this in here so you folks, whoops, just give me a second here. You'll be able to see it. No, I don't believe it's a buy here, Mr. Z. I don't see any pattern at all. We've just the first day down. What we should do, though, let's just double check the 30-minute chart. And yes, there you go. You're right at it. If you wanted to buy it here, this is a spot. You've got a little ABCD, but the fact it's the first day down from a Gartley, I wouldn't touch it. I think you got more to go to the downside. I'd let that larger time frame chart, tell you that that's one you're looking at. So that's what I'm watching. So pay close attention to that. That's really what I'm watching. The one that I think is important is the fact that, we got a caller in from Florida. Dan, are you there? Hello, Dan, are you there? Oh, maybe we missed Dan. That happens occasionally. Well, maybe he'll call back and we'll.
Hello, Larry.
Oh, Dan, how are you? What can I do for you, my friend?
Good, Larry. I've been following the dollar and gold, obviously, and from my work, it looks like the DX contract of fast stochastics made a nice bottom recently. They both fast stochastic lines have gotten below the 5% mark. I'm thinking we could get a nice rally out of the dollar, and gold could be under pressure for a little more. What do you think?
That's certainly possible. Our spot in the gold is down around below 1,200, so we'll see. Okay?
I see, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Dan. Appreciate it.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, I've reposted the chart of the November beans because we're getting closer to that target. We're trading at around 8.30 a bushel right now. We'd like to see them down somewhere between 8.23 and 8.19. Remember, we have a long weekend coming up in here, but this is a completed pattern. You can see the 1.618 expansion there at 8.19. Anything below that, I don't think you want to be a farmer, but the risk here is very, very small. The last time they rallied from a pattern like this was in mid-July. They rallied just about, almost exactly $5,000, a bushel, a bushel. So just watch it very, very closely. I'm going to be tiptoeing into that one. Wheat's been very good to us, and I would certainly like to take a look at this soybean contract down at this level. And soybean oil is actually acting relatively pretty good. Now, here we are coming into the 1st of September. Now, we've rolled over in the contracts for the Treasury bonds, very heavily traded, of course. Notes are the biggest. Bonds are right up there next to it. And if we look at the Treasury bond contract, now this is a continuation contract, so the prices are going to be a little different. What we need to do is we need to clear above the highs that we made in July and get about a 1.5 higher. I'll update this chart in the newsletter, of course, over the weekend, but this pattern is still in vogue. The bonds have sold off about a point. They were very overbought, and now basically, what it's looking like. Ruby's asking a question about the sugar market. We've been long sugar, still very, very bullish sugar, and I think sugar has a long way to go. Let's just get this up here and see where we were. Here's where we were last Friday. I saw that we hit, we're up about $700 in sugar from the buy that was down there at $10. And so as long as we stay above that $10 barrel, in fact, we are above that level right now. So we're back into the congestion area. So we'll see how that's going to hold up. And actually the coffee has held. I haven't traded coffee in 44 years, and that's had a nice pattern also that held up extremely well and actually came back this week and double tested the, hold on, let's get this coffee up so the folks can take a look at it. And we got up to 106 in coffee, then backed all the way back down to the 102 level again, and now we're starting to go back up. So some of these soft markets are acting relatively nice, as trying to find a bottom. But boy, I hate to use that. If they go below that level, you're going to see markets go a whole lot lower. The reason why I mentioned that, a comment about boy, in 1970, I was at Eli Lilly in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got down there to see Dr. Harlan Stone, chief of surgery, and I was getting out of the cab at Grady Memorial Hospital, and raining cats and dogs. And I said to the cab driver, I said, boy, I've never seen it rain this hard. And he turned around and he grabbed me by my tie and almost pulled me through the front seat. He said, don't you ever call me boy, son. And I said, I don't know what you mean. I'm from southern Indiana. I didn't mean anything by that. I meant boy was as an exclamation. I didn't mean a boy like, a slave or anything like that. But boy, I never forgot that. And my little grandson, he always says that too. He's been saying it since he's about a year and a half. So hopefully he won't have the same experience that I did. Okay, let's move on here. They're asking about the silver. I still think silver is good anywhere near this 450 an ounce in silver. It just still looks pretty good. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the silver market. The gold is interesting now, and we've been following the open interest. The open interest is starting to increase now in these up days. So there's players coming back into the gold market, which is very, very important. I think that should be well, back in the old days they might have been able to to do something like that, but who knows? No, he certainly had a good point, and I didn't understand that. But when you're from southern Indiana, I didn't realize there was segregation until I got out and traveled a little bit from Eli Lilly. That stuff never really happened in Terre Haute, Indiana. As a matter of fact, I happened to be listening to a little bit driving in the car yesterday. I was listening to a little bit of the president's speech, because he was in Evansville, Indiana, where I have a couple cousins that live there, and he actually mentioned Terre Haute, Indiana. Boy, that's big time. I have to call my sister and tell us that they made it to the big time one more time from old Terre Haute, Indiana, on the banks of the Wabash River. Boy, does that go back a long way. Man, oh, live. Okay. He was having a lot of fun, I think, listening to him on the radio. But, he's not around friends very often, so he has to have as much fun as he can, I guess. I don't know. He's an entertainer. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's move on to something else. Someone else has another question. That is about the Dow Jones Transportations. We did make a higher high this week, folks. If you'll take a look at this, there we go. You'll see what we're looking at, the possibility of that big double top. We have a 3 drive to a top pattern, and we have a butterfly pattern. 3 major patterns. Now, the market has to close down sharply through that, so we'll have to wait and see. Maria, there's no reason to be amazed. The markets, they don't care about the news. They travel their own route by the cycles that they're on. When it's time for the market to roll over, it will roll over. So until that happens, don't worry about it, because look what's been happening. Look at election night, folks. The Dow was down 880 points on election night until Florida went to Republican, and then after that it started to rally. By the time the electoral college votes came in, the market was up on the day and has been going up ever since. That was November the 8th of 2016. So trade what you see, not what you think. And if you have an opinion, be willing to change it, because if you don't change your opinion, you're going to be changing something else, like your career. So it's not the question of being wrong. The question is in staying wrong. You're going to be wrong a lot in these markets. Those of you that listen to me here for the last 10 or 11 years, you know that I'm wrong a lot. Occasionally I find one, but you've got to be wrong sometimes. And when you see that, just remember that's all part of it. Nobody's 100%. Look at Stan Harley. He's been my guest for 6 times, and he's had 6 nearly perfect hits, and the market went up against him this time. It's the first time out of 6. So 6 out of 7 is not so bad, but if you're in that 7th trade and missed the first 6, shut the front door and raise the rent. That's not a very good thing. By the way, folks, I don't go to the movies very often. I went to the movies for the first time yesterday in 18 months. due to one of our friends here, suggested we go see the movie Crazy Rich Asians, and it was terrific. It was in Singapore, where Sarah and I go to quite a bit, and we stayed at that beautiful hotel. Oh, like it. Mr. Z, we actually sat through it twice, if you can believe that. It was that good. There was nobody in the theater. I mean, it was empty, but it was really a good movie. Very, very funny. There was no murder. There were no drugs. There was only one bad word, and that was said in jest. But it was very funny, and believe me, the spectacular scenery, it really gives you an idea what Singapore is really like. It's a beautiful city, the Lion City, and if you ever get a chance, I would suggest you go. That's where Jimmy Rogers lives now, but it's really a spectacular movie. I really enjoyed it. You'll like it. Crazy Rich Asians.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Bring up a chart of Bitcoin because we did have a rally this week. We got up above 7,000. It really didn't do very much. And I still believe that the price objective on the Bitcoin will be somewhere around the $3,800 to $4,000 level. It's all about blockchain technology, not so much about the cryptocurrencies, but, you know, who knows? We'll have to just to wait and see. This is going to be a very, very interesting week because it's the anniversary week of the high we made back in 1987. When you look at that chart long term, it looks like a little tiny burp on the chart, but boy, I remember that October 19th and 20th. It was far from a burp. It was more like a puking. So anyway, whether things like that will happen again, who knows, but we're not here to see that. We're to look at the patterns that we see them unfolding. And we have that big ABCD, of course, in the S&P, but should we go above the 2916 level, 2917, that means we're probably going to go a great deal higher. We'll have to wait and see how it ends up, but we'll look at it. So anyway, I want everybody to have a really wonderful weekend. Try to help somebody, especially if you see a veteran that seems to need help. Try to help a veteran if you can, and anybody else that needs some help, because we're blessed. We got a lot of things that we need to share and help other people with. So that's the end of the end of the thing from Reverend Ike today, folks. There'll be no more sermons today. I'm going to get off my soapbox and head out into the desert. And anyway, have a wonderful weekend, folks, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.